What's up, guys? For those of you who are going to grade your sports cards, Pokemon cards, any type of cards, you're going to have to go through PSA, BGS, one of these card grading companies. So in this video, we're going to talk about what I see as a benefit for PSA, BGS, SGC, what I like the best, and just some tips on what to do right now in this climate. So let's take a look into the screen right now. There's actually big news surrounding PSA in general. So if you guys don't know, PSA, BGS, I'd say those are the top two grading companies for cards in general. That's for both like Pokemon trading cards and even sports cards, so like football and basketball. You usually see people say like PSA 10, PSA 9. They kind of grade PSA in the most quantity because those are the most liquid or easily tradable on eBay, so you can buy and sell pretty easily. And there's a big population of these cards, but in April 2021 right now, they've suspended a bunch of their normal services. So in general, if you wanted to submit a bulk quantity of cards to be graded, or even if you wanted to submit like one or two cards, you're basically filling out a form online, paying a dollar amount per card, and depending on how much you pay, the faster you get the card back, right? So you mail the cards, you mail the order, the form to PSA or BGS, and then they mail you the cards back graded, and then you pay per card. So $20 per card is their lowest service, up to like $600, and I think there's like premium options as well depending on how valuable your card is. But for the normal investor, the normal collector like myself, it's impossible right now. You're gonna have to pay a minimum of $300 per card, super express, for PSA, because they've suspended services on their, I guess, first four like cheapest options. And that's because they've been getting so many different orders. They just can't keep up with the card grading world right now. And we saw this earlier last year when sports cards and Pokemon cards got popular. PSA kind of slowed down, right? 2 weeks became a month, 3 months became like 6 months, etc. It took almost like a year to get your cards back. But right now the big news is that not only is it slower, it's like impossible to afford this stuff, right? If you're gonna do like a Panini Prism, grade some base cards or whatever, you're not gonna be paying $300 a card because you're obviously, gonna lose money. Your card's not even worth $300. So, I mean, right now it's like, unless you have like a Michael Jordan or Kobe that you need graded immediately, you're not gonna be using PSA anymore, at least for the month of April, a few months. This is obviously temporary, but PSA in general is just going crazy with the suspensions. Now Beckett, nothing's really suspended, but you got to understand that things are super slow. So, the cheapest stuff is like $20 a card with no subgrades. You guys can go on, Beckett and PSA.com and see exactly, how much things are. But in general, like I submitted a group of cards to Beckett in December of 2020. It's been like 4 or 5 months, and I'm supposed to get it back within 6 months. And I got one of the cheaper services, like Standard. I used a different Facebook group to send my order, but in general, everything is delayed. I wouldn't expect my cards back very soon. And the cheapest option right now is like $20-30 a card for Beckett. Obviously for SGC or even like HGA, these are like kind of like the newer grading companies. You guys can go in that direction. They'll probably give it to you faster. It might be cheaper as well. But the thing is, I personally, want to sell my cards in the future. And I personally just like the design of BGS and PSA better. So if you're going to go like SGC or HGS or even like CGC for like trading cards, you got to understand that it's going to be harder to sell, and it's going to be selling for cheaper on eBay because it's not as desirable. So in this next section of the video, I'm just going to go over some of the cards that I recently picked up and just go over like the design and what I think about these grading companies. So I got 3 different ones. We're going to start with SGC. I would say this is, sort of an up and coming like third option for sports cards in general. You see a lot of people, if they can't do PSA, they can't do BGS, they'll do SGC. And I bought a few SGC cards on eBay before. Pictured here is Yao Ming, a baller beast. I really like this card in general. It's numbered out of 1999. I think it's his rookie card. But basically, you see in the label here, it's 8.5, and I have this in hand. It's a little reverse on the webcam, but This case is actually the biggest case out of Beckett, PSA, and SGC. So it feels pretty good. It's solid, but the thing is, in my opinion, I think it's the least desirable. The font for me doesn't really do it. Kind of looks like Impact, like the default font. You can't really see the title of the card or player that well. Even if I zoom in here, let me see if you guys can see this. Yeah, so I don't think the font is that good. It's kind of small. You know, the label is kind of weird. You got like a gray basketball background in the back, kind of blends in. The 8.5, you know, it doesn't feel solid to me. It doesn't feel as professional. And if you guys look at the corner of the cards, I don't know why there's this like spacing there. So like, I'm not gonna shake this too hard, but if you shake it a little bit, you can kind of feel the card move in the SGC case. So, I mean, if you go on eBay and you want something graded, you want like a slab meaning it's in a case, you know, you can buy an SGC one for cheap. So if your only goal is like, let's put this as artwork, let's use this for decoration, I mean, you could go with the SGC, but in general, you know, it's lower population. Not many people are using this for the more popular cards, and it's kind of hard to see the label. So I don't really like this case. It's not too appealing to me, and I only buy SGC if I find a good deal of a card that I can't find anywhere else, like Yao Ming. And I have another one of Dwayne Wade. Because it was a gold card of Topps Dwayne Wade, I mean, this is an iconic design that I remember back in like 2007. The fact that it's the gold variation, it's pretty valuable. But if I obviously got this in like PSA 10, BGS 9.5 or 10, it's gonna cost me hundreds, right? But I got this for like 25 bucks because it's an SGC, and also it's like an 8.5. So, you know, when I'm looking at some cards that I just like as a collector, I'll go with SGC, you know, to buy, but I'm not gonna send this over to grade. So that's pretty much it for SGC. Label's kind of and I wouldn't say it's like that good of a resale value. Now I'm gonna go to PSA real quick. So I just picked this up recently, Michael Porter Jr. This is a Panini Prism Purple Wave, PSA 9. Very, very beautiful card actually. I really like Michael Porter Jr. PSA is known for their red label, pretty classic. Let me see if I can show it on the camera here. But basically, the case is the smallest out of all the three major grading companies. It's a little thinner as well. The thing, people like to use PSA sometimes because it is thinner and lighter weight. It's easier to transport and stack. So if you got hundreds of graded cards, I mean, PSA is easy to just like transport and sell in bulk. But for me, you know, I don't like the red label, and you know, you guys might have different opinions on what design you like best, but in my defense, or in my like opinion, the evidence I have behind my opinion is the fact that the whole font of the red label, everything's the same. The title of the card, the year, the condition, you know, and even they have like this barcode here. I just feel like it doesn't highlight the card as well as BGS, and we'll see BGS after this, but PSA in general is the most liquid. Right now you can't really grade it anyways, but I would say PSA is better than SGC, given the fact that it's transparent. It's a little more tighter on the card, so at least, you know, your focus is on the label and the card. Nothing like a weird corner like SGC is getting in your way. The text is not too, you know, there's no hierarchy with the title, the subtitle, the player's name, the condition, but at least the font is like standard Open Sans, or, you know, like a standard font that's not like Impact on SGC. It doesn't look like Comic Sans like on Microsoft Word. So that's PSA. Now BGS, guys. This is the card right here. So I picked up this Derrick Rose jersey patch card. And with PSA and BGS, when you get like a thicker card, like a jersey patch, the case itself is going to be thicker, which honestly feels more official. Like, I'm holding this and I just feel like this feels like a valuable piece of art to me, a valuable slab. I personally very much like the Beckett design. It's so clean to me. You've got the logo on the left. It's transparent with the plastic. And then the actual tag is detailed, and it's pretty much in the correct hierarchy. Maybe they could bold like the player's name, but you see the grade very clearly in bold. It's good font. In this case, it's 9, and they've got different variations, you know. So in this card, it's a silver border or a silver background because it's a 9, but if you get a 9.5, it becomes gold. If you get 10 on all 4 subgrades, it's black labeled. I just think there's so much detail and good design use in Beckett's cases, and I think that the detail in the subgrades gives it a huge bonus for me. When I'm grading cards, I want to know exactly what I'm being graded on. For PSA and SGC, it just says 8.5, 9, 10. I mean, 10, I'm not going to really question too much, but if I get a 9, I kind of want to know why I got a 9. And in BGS, they have this thing called the subgrades. Centering, corners, edges, and surface. These are self-explanatory based on the definition, but I mean, these are the grading criteria that PSA, BGS, and all these companies use. Beckett tells you exactly what's happening. So I know, okay, my Derrick Rose is a 9 because, you know, although the surface is perfectly clean, the centering might be off a little bit, giving me a 9. The corners might be a little chippy or a little soft, you know, at 8.5. I just think that that is literally one of the main reasons why I choose Beckett BGS. And the fact that I think the label is more clean, the grade stands out the most, and to me, the case is in between SGC and PSA for the weight and thickness. So I do like this. It feels like a framed piece of art to me. And honestly, the main reason is the fact that we get subgrades. This is another card for Beckett as well. Michael Jordan 93 Stadium Club Tops. I just picked this up recently. Just want to show it to you guys. It's a really cool card. If you guys go on eBay and just type in like basketball or football BGS, you can see exactly what's being sold for. And right now, you know, for some of these vintage cards and random like Derrick Rose jersey patch, if you are a collector and you want to buy these, they're going for like less than $40 and $50 on eBay right now. So a lot of these Beckett slabs are pretty nice. I do imagine that PSA slabs prices might go up if you buy some, just because obviously it's harder to grade that and send it to PSA now. But overall, you know, I don't see anything changing too much besides the fact that people might switch over to BGS and SGC and maybe HGA or HGS more often now, just because in the next coming months, you're going to see like 50 to 70% less submissions to PSA since they're not accepting standard orders. Anyway, that's honestly pretty much it for this video, guys. I just want to say thank you for watching. Again, my BGS slabs, I mean, I've got BGS, SGC, and PSA, and I enjoy the BGS ones the most. I also do want to tell you guys that BGS slabs in general, they have that 0.5 system, like 8.5, 9.5, and PSA only has like solid numbers like 8, 9, and 10. PSA 10s are usually worth more than BGS 9.5, but if you get a BGS 10 gold or a BGS 10 black label, those will always be the most expensive in any category. So although PSA 10 is, you know, kind of easier to get, if you have a beautiful card that looks pretty good centered, I would go with BGS. So overall, you know, I'm going with BGS all the way. I'm pretty biased on the design. PSA is not bad as well, but you can't really submit these days. And SGC, I only really buy SGC to collect cheap cards that I think are worth for myself, and I'm not really buying SGC to resell. So overall, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that this helps you understand, you know, what company to choose when you're grading cards, and seeing some examples of my own so you guys can go on eBay and buy some. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content, and we will see you next time. Peace.